It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning. Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News on this, the 23rd day of August 2021. Coming to you from Forest in Bedford County, Central Virginia. We're back into the dog days of summer again. It's going to be in the 90s again today. And unfortunately, I can't get in the pool. Also, they canceled my therapy this week as well. So I don't do therapy again until Friday. So, but that's okay. I'll try to go out and walk a little after the show. So, if you're new to this channel, welcome aboard. We do this every day, 6 days a week, of course, Monday through Saturday, where we're talking about travel and cruise industry news and anything that comes up. Feel free to jump in the chat box with all of our regulars. They'll be over there talking back and forth to each other. And today, of course, we still got to look at some weather. Not a whole lot of news today, folks, quite frankly, but a couple things. Slow moving Henri. Getting a little bit tired of that, aren't we? Especially, Amy and Emily, you guys up there. But anyway, slow moving Henri is going to continue to produce heavy rainfall and flooding across portions of the southern New England today and the middle mid-Atlantic states. It's located about 60 miles northwest of New York City, about 90 miles west of Hartford, 30-mile-an-hour winds. It's moving at a rapid clip of 1 mile an hour to the east. Pressure is about 1,005. The depression is nearly stationary at the moment, I guess, at 1 mile an hour, but is expected to begin an eastward motion later today and into the afternoon hours. Henri is expected to produce an additional rainfall of 1 to 3 inches, with locally higher amounts possible over portions of Long Island, New England, southeast New York, New Jersey, and eastern Pennsylvania. Man, the rain totals for this one have been unbelievable. As of a little while ago, Brooklyn Heights had gotten 9.9 inches. Central Park had gotten 7.9 inches. JFK Airport, 4.4. Midtown Manhattan, 6.55. That's a lot of rain for the heart of New York. Not as much out in the counties around the area, not as much out on Long Island yet. I mean, there's still, you could get another 3 inches today. Some pretty impressive totals down in Jersey. It's just been a massive rain event. There's no other way to get around that. Now, we do have to look at two other systems that are in the Atlantic. The one that's over closest to Africa that we've been following for a couple days, it's still a low pressure system, pretty disorganized, about 700 miles west of Cabo Verde Islands. They're still saying like no chance of further development over the next 48 hours and maybe 30% over the next 5 days. Now, the one that just cropped up in the last hour or so off the coast of South America, a tropical wave located over the eastern Caribbean is expected to form a broad area of low pressure over, I lost my place there, over the southwestern Caribbean Sea. Therefore, environmental conditions are forecast to become favorable for gradual development while the system moves west-northwest over the northwestern Caribbean Sea. They're saying formation in the next 48 hours is near zero, but 30% over the next 5 days. So we're going to definitely have to watch that one. Now, out in the Pacific, let's see, I got to change maps, don't I? Out in the Pacific, where's the Pacific? There's the Pacific. We got Marty. Marty is a tropical storm that formed south-southwest of the southern tip of Baja. Forecast to move over open waters of the eastern Pacific. It's located about 210 miles south-southwest of Baja, 40-mile-an-hour winds. It's moving west at 15 miles an hour, so that's a pretty good clip. Pressure is 1,000 millibars. Strengthening possible today. Gradual weakening is forecast to begin Tuesday. Marty is forecast to weaken to a tropical depression by Wednesday, and no land interaction is expected. Now, the other one off the coast of like Central America down there is, I'm not sure if this is a continuation of Grace or if Grace just completely ended and then this sprang up, but it follows the track that Grace was going on across Mexico. An area of disturbed weather located just south of the coast of southern Mexico is producing disorganized showers and thunderstorms. Environmental conditions are forecast to be favorable for some gradual development of the system. Tropical depression is likely to form by late this week. But again, it's in the Pacific, going nowhere, not going to affect land. They're saying an 80% chance of further development. So it's, not likely to do much that is going to really count for anything. So, all right. What's next? Guess we need to talk about Carnival a bit. I was kind of fussing at Carnival for, I thought, being disingenuous over the whole situation with the Bahamas and their new protocols. But Carnival has made some changes to the protocols that will go into effect starting August 28th due to the requirements at destinations. The impact will be on a small percentage of guests, as at least 95% of the passengers are already fully vaccinated. So that's what Carnival's counting on, is continuing the policy that they've been on, where they're shooting for 95% of the guests to be vaccinated. The 5% is to be made up of kids. So last evening, the cruise line announced an update to the Have Fun, Be Safe protocols due to the fluid situation and ensuring guests remain safe. Carnival Cruise Line is currently sailing with at least 95% of the guests fully vaccinated, as per guidelines from the CDC. 5% of the guests are those under 12 and certain adults who are unable to get vaccinated. Carnival Line says only children under 12 and adults with medical condition that prohibits their vaccination are exempt from vaccination requirements to sail. The one interesting thing that came out of this is that guests will have to bring relevant documentation during check-in, including a birth certificate or passport for those under 12 years of age, and a letter from a medical provider stating why guests cannot be vaccinated. So they're clarifying their position. I mean, it's the position that they had to take with the changes that the Bahamas government made, and why they were trying to dance around it for a couple of days, I just didn't understand. So that puts them in line with Royal Caribbean and MSC and Norwegian now. But so, the fact of the matter is you got to be fully vaccinated. Doesn't matter what the governor of Florida says. You do that or you don't cruise. Period. The end. So, all right. A little problem again with Mein Schiff. Remember Mein Schiff 2 from TUI? German newspapers are reporting that there were 5 crew members infected with the virus on board Mein Schiff 2, operated by TUI Cruises. Cruise members and their close contacts isolated after they tested positive. Cruise operator acknowledged the infections of the crew and said that some of them have mild symptoms. German newspaper Bild indicated that, ship employee, a ship employee was infected in the kids club, which was subsequently closed. Children on the cruise ship reportedly were not affected. So they're currently sailing down in the Mediterranean on a 10-day cruise out of Mallorca that left on Friday. So that was the only bad news today, which is a good thing. Aruba has changed some policies. Aruba has made some significant changes to and updated its travel protocols for August, including the implementation of a curfew this week. The biggest change for the Dutch Caribbean island was the recent decision to re-implement pre-testing requirements, even for fully vaccinated travelers from high-risk countries. That means that if you are coming from the United States, even if you're fully vaccinated, you still have to complete the 72-hour PCR testing requirement before traveling to Aruba. Aruba's other travel rules haven't changed, which means all visitors still have to complete their online forms and purchase their visitor insurance. So that's what's happening in Aruba. So anyway, excuse me. Now, tickling my throat. All right, let's go over and see who's with us today. Like I said, there wasn't a whole lot of news today for a change, other than weather. And no major bad stuff in weather. Oh, what am I doing? I'm looking for comments. That's what I'm doing. Let's see who's with us today. Carol's here. Hi there, Chillie, she says. Bonnie's with us down in Florida. Hi, Bonnie. Amy's with us. Amy, you still haven't drowned, I see. A lot of rain up your way. But the storm itself hasn't been near as bad as it could have been. Sharon's with us. Hi, Sharon. Good to see you, too. Thanks for the weather updates. Well, I seem to do weather every day. So, Cindy's with us. Hi, Cindy. Gretchen's here. Emily's here. We had much rain. Yeah, you've had rain and rain and rain. You can get some more. Another 3 inches on top of what y'all had, because one of the problems with that is, the trees are in super saturated soils, and that's how they come down easily. So, got to be careful on that one. Jack's with us down in Conroe, Texas. It's only 82 degrees. Wow. Cold front. Bonnie says, weird. My hometown getting tropical storm rain, and me in Southeast Florida, hardly any rain, but hurricane season continues. Isn't that the truth? Cindy says, feeling better about your October Horizon cruise. Yeah, I'm just, I don't have anything against Carnival. Of course, I've been a Carnival guy all my life. I didn't like the way that they handled this whole situation with the Bahamas. They should have come right out from the giddy up and said, look, we're already sitting at 95%. We don't have to change anything or change it for very few people. They just kind of mealy-mouthed around, and I didn't like it. But anyway, I'm glad the horizon looks good for you, Cindy. So that's awesome. Bonnie says, I just wish Carnival would stop the self-serve buffet. I'd feel better about them if they let crew serve the passengers in the buffet. Just saw the Jay from Parrot EJ. Yeah, I saw that they are sick. So I'm sorry to hear that. And I agree with you. I like, I like the whole concept of the buffets being served. So that's the way Royal Caribbean's doing it. That's, but Carnival does their thing. So. D and J were on the Mardi Gras. D was found to be positive, and they both quarantined while on the ship. Yep. Hope we don't have a problem with Aruba. I don't think it's going to be any problem, Jason, but I would double check to make sure you got all your P's and Q's lined up ahead of time. So, Aruba is one of my favorite spots. I agree with Bonnie. She says it's a beautiful island to visit. I love Aruba. Carol says, certainly Carnival need to tighten their protocols. Buffets should certainly be served by the staff. I agree. I'd love to see that happen. But again, Carnival, I just like that whole concept that Royal Caribbean came out with. And not that I wouldn't sail on Carnival. Matter of fact, I'm working on one of my short videos about food on the Mardi Gras. And one of the things that I would do on the Mardi Gras is I'd still go for buffet breakfast. Now, I rarely do dinner buffet or lunch buffet. Rarely. But I do go for the buffet for breakfast almost every day. I'll do a sea day buffet, sea day brunch, maybe once during the cruise, depending on how many sea days there are. But my daily breakfast is normally in the buffet because there's a lot of things that I enjoy there. So, but that's me. I found it interesting that the Mardi Gras has a whole bunch of places that serve breakfast. They're trying to get people away from the buffet as much as they can. And I'm real curious to get on the Mardi Gras and see Big Shack's Big Chicken. Man, I'm hearing some good things about that. So, Jack says forecast to be 99. So that nice cool morning you've started off isn't going to last long. Bonnie says same thing here in Florida. It's going to be hot. Going to be hot here today, too. I don't know what it is now. I haven't been outside yet today. Bonnie's hoping to get the third vaccine this week. I'm immune compromised. I've got to find out. I haven't heard anybody in Virginia talking about getting it yet. So I need to call and check on my vaccine supplier and see if they've started scheduling folks, because I'll get it as soon as I possibly can. Definitely all in favor of that. Emily says they're going to have a couple 90-degree days in New York, too. Nikki's with us. Good morning to Chillie and gang. Just got back from picking up groceries. Middle school tacos. Middle school tacos today. Do I want to ask what that is? Emily says, thought tacos were for Taco Tuesday. Middle school tacos. I could come up with several thoughts on that one. Bonnie says her last Princess Cruise in 2019, I had breakfast in the MDR almost every day. Just because I was with the group and we met for breakfast in the main dining room. I generally go to the main dining rooms for dinner. I eat more dinners in the main dining room than anything. Yes, I'll catch a sea day brunch in the main dining room. And maybe a breakfast along the way. Most of the time it's buffet for breakfast. But I do most of my dinners in the main dining room. I've always had an affinity, especially with Carnival. I've never had a problem with Carnival's main dining room because that was the most of my cruises was Carnival. And certainly when it started spreading out, I didn't have problems with it. Carol says she never does buffets. No, there's a lot of people that are that way. Like I say, my buffets are mostly breakfast. Jack says one person and family is in middle school, junior high. Yep. Emily says in New York, the autoimmune people can get the third vaccine. And I'm autoimmune, so because of all my health issues. So, there won't be a problem if they started giving it. I can just, probably the next time I'm over that way, I'll go by and get it. But I'm assuming that the cancer clinic will have it again. Cancer Center will be doing the third vaccine also. So that's going to wrap me up today, folks. I'm looking forward to this afternoon. I'm going to be talking with our friend Emma from over on the other side of the pond. So we'll probably have, I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do the whole interview as a video or if I'm going to slice it up and have her on our show here several times. We'll just have to see how it goes. Oh, got some more comments coming in. So I'll grab those before I leave. Cindy said, I always go to buffet for breakfast and lunch, sometimes Guy Burgers or the burrito spot. Yeah, I love Guy's Burgers in the deli. Yeah, I do the deli too. For some reason, I've never done the burrito thing. And I love Mexican food. I need to factor that in sometimes. Emily says we did both on the Dawn buffet and MDR. Dinners were mainly in the MDR. Bonnie, I love the buffet breakfast on Holland American. And even many years back, the crew served us at the buffet. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I've enjoyed Holland America food. I've never had a problem with Carnival food, but I really liked Holland America. Sharon says they served us on Celebrity, and it took a while. People would say 4 olives, 2 cherry tomatoes, and 10 croutons. Still, it felt safe. I have no problem, and I wouldn't have a problem with it taking a little longer. Cruise line should test people at the port. Makes no sense. The CDC letting people test 1 to 3 days before they travel makes no sense. And I agree with that one completely. A quickie pre-cruise test at the port makes more sense. Sharon, I totally agree with that. And I don't know why they got away from that. It seemed like they were heading in that direction a long time ago, and then it's just gone by the wayside. It's expensive, it's quick, and boom, could be done. So totally agree with that one. All right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. I will be back same time, same channel tomorrow with some more travel and cruise industry news. For today, this is the old fat travel guy. You guys have a great day. Stay safe. If you haven't been vaccinated, get vaccinated, folks. Get ready to do the booster business whenever you can. We'll talk at you tomorrow. Later, y'all.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner. Hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.